Come on down. You're the next contestant on Price is Right Wrestling. Heading into tonight's show, a lot of fans were wondering, how would they follow up Worlds Collide? Well, I imagine the creative is probably just looking around saying, okay, y'all just get in the ring, do your shit, go out there and be athletes, but when you're backstage, only 5% of y'all can talk like normal humans. Everybody else talking the most cartoonish, bullshit way possible, a way that no human being would ever talk, whether they were in this or any goddamn alternate universe. And other than that, we have the 1-year anniversary show coming up, so we're focusing on that, where we're going to let the fans decide what's going on. Oh boy, I'm John Renton with my review of WWE NXT 2.0. Okay, this wasn't a bad show from a wrestling perspective, but there were so many bad backstage segments. I don't understand why they can't let them act like normal people. The wrestlers, and some of them just have the stupidest fucking gimmicks, or are given the most scripted promos and most scripted lines to say. And if they aren't natural talkers, just bring managers back, utilize people properly. But whatever, there were some positives to this show. We start off with Tyler Bate. He comes out to thank the fans and thanks Rex Steiner for the great match that they had, and leaves with his head held high. He was the first and the last NXT UK champion, and he gave it his all, and he's here to stay, and good. Tyler Bate can be utilized in NXT 2.0, and he's going to deliver some goddamn great matches like he has for a number of years. And then here's Gallus. They show up. Hey, you didn't win, Tyler. You dishonored NXT UK. Then he points out, yeah, but you guys didn't unify the titles either. And then they got pissed and started beating him up. And then here's Steiner. And Steiner just mows over Wolfgang. I mean, he's just like, it's like, I'm going to come at you, and boom. He doesn't care how big you are. He'll just throw you around. And Steiner basically says, well, how about we have a tag match? Because we're unified. Worlds are going to unite here, and we're going to kick your ass. There you go. Good stuff. So anyway, Pretty Deadly Glory are talking about their unified tag team championships. The tag team division is fucking dead with these two goofs. God, fucking dead. I don't care how good they can wrestle. The presentation is shit. Lash Legend then comes in and says, hey, people are saying that you paid off Damon Kemp to, beat up the Creeds, and thus you would win. So now they're all upset trying to figure out, who's spreading this rumor. If they would feature Lash in matches, I might actually care more about her. As a second to Pretty Deadly Glory, it's just an anchor is going to drag her down. Need to utilize her more in the ring. JC Jane, my fucking goodness, she is a joy to watch in the ring. We then cut to Mako and Roxanne after Worlds Collide, and they were talking, and then Cora Jade says, hey, Mako, you should face me. Mako's like, well, no, I don't want to. Well, why are you scared? No, it's because I already have a match against somebody you know, Roxanne Perez. And that angers Cora. And she grips her stick and just walks away. It's like, fine, I'll just go over here. Why she's talking like that, I don't know. So then, Toxic Attraction, JC Jane and Gigi Dolan taking on Nikki Ash and Pippa Niven. So Nikki, I guess, put the mask back on after taking it off backstage and whatever. And okay, look, I love Toxic Attraction as a presentation. I love JC Jane. JC Jane is fantastic. She can be a great singles talent. She shines anytime she's in any match, whether she's, even cutting a promo. She finds a way to do a little bit of something because she loves wrestling. You can tell she loves it. And she's getting better at it. She obviously needs more seasoning, but you can see the talent and the passion there. I don't care about Nikki Ash and Piper. I don't care. I don't care how good they are in the ring. The let's hear it for the Dewdrop name is so fucking bad. Piper then hits that splash 1, 2, 3 where Gigi's sitting up, and then she's like, oh, boom. When Piper somehow got her nose busted. Hopefully she's all right. But yeah, that was a match. And then Apollo's on a dock writing down notes and saying, my vision's blurry thanks to Grayson Waller, and now he's got a red contact and whatever, and I don't understand why Grayson Waller and Apollo are feuding. I don't understand Grayson Waller. I don't understand why he is in general. I don't really get what they're doing with Apollo either, but nevertheless. Alright, Wesley took on the shaved Ewok known as J.D. McDonough, and look, he looks like a shaved Ewok, and I can't unsee it. I don't care about this guy. I don't care how well he can wrestle. Some characters just bore me. Wesley, I don't know what they're doing with the guy. The guy has talent. And JD again can do the moves, and that's it. The shaved Ewok eventually ends up winning. Wesley can do some great dives, and hopefully can be utilized a little bit more, but whatever. He did hit that snap Saito again. He can do the moves. He's just not interesting. 1, 2, 3. Tony D and Stax are backstage. Stax apparently makes a mean espresso, really mean. It points out all your flaws and grills you on them. And then Pretty Deadly Glory show up and they're bonding over espressos, and then they say, yeah, that was cool that you paid off Damon Kemp. We didn't do that. We won these on our own. 1 year anniversary is next week. God, it doesn't feel like this revamp's gone on any longer than 5 fucking years. There have been some positives, but come on. The color splash and the cartoonish bullshit and shit. They're going to cram so much shit in next week. Fans can vote on some of this stuff. This is going to be bad. Meiko Satomura took on Roxanne Perez. And Meiko's just fucking great. She's fucking great. Roxanne has potential. Roxanne wasn't even alive when Meiko was competing on WCW TV. Roxanne looked nervous, and she should have. Now, Meiko gave her quite a bit and still looked in control. This is one of the better matches that they've had on their television in the last year. Definitely one of the better women's matches that they've had. And I mean on TV. I'm not talking like the specials that do like Heat Wave, or the Great American Bash or that kind of stuff. I'm talking standard TV with no theme. Because you got to have qualifiers there. This was good. Roxanne got a couple near falls, some good submissions. She did get hit with a couple kicks. She eventually did hit a Rana off the top for 2, but got hit by the Scorpio Rising Kick 1, 2, 3. And then we get a show of respect. And I wrote down, and now Cora comes out and attacks Perez. And lo and behold, not even 5 seconds after I wrote that down, here comes Cora gripping her stick, and she whacks. She just keeps whacking that stick off. Wait, she whacks Perez in the back. That's what I meant. And usually to see, 2 early 20-something women, take lashings, or one giving lashings to the other, I usually have to go to a different kind of website to see that. Always delete your search history, by the way. And Meiko then says, hey, what are you doing? So obviously we're probably going to get Meiko versus Cora at some point, or we get Meiko and Roxanne versus Cora and somebody. Not sure who. So Tyler Bate and Steiner, they don't talk strategy, they just flex, and they do shit, and they get ready. They say a few words, and that's about it. Damon Camp White, he turned on Diamond Mine. He was tired of being disrespected. He's a Pan-American champion, and he wanted to kill Diamond Mine from within. He didn't even have to try, because Diamond Mine was pretty much dead from the beginning. And I like the creeds. Roderick Strong is fine when he doesn't talk, but let's be honest, the stable was shit. Even with Stokely or Malcolm Bibbin or whatever the fuck his name is now, even with the guy that isn't tall enough to ride on carnivals, he is, it was dead there. So anyway, Kiana James and her assistant, Gia, were, I think that's her name, the Fowler and Jaeger and Jaegermeister, they were there, a.k.a. Gibson and Drake. The guys that could have been a great tag team, and now they're fucking ruined by this whole Joe Wayne Gacy deal. I'm going to say right now with Kiana James and Gia, they have quite the pair. I mean, they're quite the pair. That's what I meant, clearly. And I've also seen this movie before. Honestly, this looks like porno level, like presentation here. And then Ariana Grace, Santino's daughter, God, I hope she's smarter than her dad, is going to do training with them. Apparently, she has other stuff to host. Everybody has day planners, and they're doing shit. And why is any of this on a television program? Kiana James has something. She does. She has a good fire to her, and I would enjoy taking dictation. Moving on from that, I could see her and Gia being quite the pair. Now that I've pretty much just killed off any female or any women, viewers on my channel, let's just go right to the next match, which is Ricochet versus Tricky Ticky Williams with Carmelo Hayes on commentary. Look, Tricky Ticky has a good look and has improved somewhat, but he still needs quite a bit of work. Has a great look. Ricochet is exactly what he's going to be. He can do some flips. He also associates with Chase and Rance and the Team Vision Dojo, so he can fuck off as far as I'm concerned. And we got some good action here. Ricochet kept focusing on Hayes. Eventually, Tricky Ticky took over, but then got hit with the recoil, and then Shooting Star Press 1, 2, 3. So obviously we're not done with Hayes and Ricochet. Fine. That's fine. You know what? They didn't have a match I necessarily was the biggest fan of in the opener of Worlds Collide, but people liked it, so I can see them wanting to run it back. So, more Tony and Stacks, and Grimes is here, and oh no, the espresso went on Stacks, and then Stacks put Grimes through a table, or Tony put Grimes through a table. I really refuse to care. I honestly refuse to care. Tony D'Angelo, as far as a gimmick, he's leaning into the gimmick. They have made it to the point where now he's just not interesting, in my opinion. So, who is Sol Ruca? I have no idea who this is. She looks great. That's about all I know. The Creed say they will break camp and they will, and it's on site, whatever the fuck that means, and they'll beat Pretty Deadly Glory, who show up and say, well, apparently, I guess according to Mackenzie, the people will pick, or no, Pretty Deadly Glory says the people will pick the stipulation. Mackenzie looks great, by the way. I do want to say that. At least she has, some good facials as far as the, the reactions and everything. I really needed to word that a lot better, but she's like, just looking disgusted. Good stuff. So anyway, Axiom Verge, his entrance is dumb. So we're supposed to believe he's stopping time and moving around like this, but they can only do it on TV. And then he pauses, and then the screen suddenly comes back, and oh my god, he's just fine. Axiom Verge, a.k.a. Kid, took on Nathan Mega Man Frazier. That is what he is, because the lights, or the weird lighting beam things in his little Chiron or Titantron or screen deal look like the, bars from Quickman's stage. Anybody that is an NES fan will remember what that is, and anybody that doesn't know what an NES is, what the fuck is wrong with you? If you don't know who Mega Man is, you don't play video games. So, we got Flippy shit eventually. There was some good work. Look, it's a best of three match, by the way. So instead of best of five, it's best of three. Who's the best? They should have done best of one and then just moved on from this. Frazier nearly crashes on a dive. The guy has hops. He has speed. He's great. He is going to hurt himself doing that if he doesn't slow down a bit. And I want the guy to have a long career because he's got something. There was eventually a high kick. 1, 2, 3. Axiom Verge takes the first match. The match was fine. I don't care about Axiom Verge. And then this Hoovy whatever guy, or Javi, this Javi guy insults the security guard again. Why is any of this on a tele? Who is the security guard's name? I remember they said it a couple weeks ago, and it totally escapes me now. I don't get this Quincy Elliott gimmick. I don't get it. Nothing cuter than a boy in his scooter. What? Lean into it. As long as it's more of an extension of him, I guess that's fine. I don't get it. Whatever. I have noticed quite a few homophobic comments on posts, so maybe don't be homophobic about it. You can not like the gimmick and not be a dick, by the way. Nothing cuter than a boy in his scooter. God, what are we, 14? Do 14-year-olds even ride scooters? Did 14-year-olds ever ride scooters unless they were in foreign countries like Spain, like in Lucca? Lucca was set in Italy. Moving on. Hayes and Tricky Dicky Williams are backstage, and he's got a match, and next week the fans will pick. And God, Mackenzie looked great. And then Steiner and Bate beat up Gallus. Gallus are not interesting at all. I don't care what combination. They got a cool theme, and that's where it ends. Tyler Driver 97, 1, 2, 3. And then the Shaved Ewok attacks Tyler Bate. Oh, great. I have to put up with more J.D. McEwok. That's what I have to put up with. Yay. Yay, next year is next week rather, is the 1-year anniversary show. Next year is a 1-year anniversary. We're totally doing a reset. God, if only. But yes, next week is the 1-year anniversary. So let's see what happens. Let's see who the fans vote for. But we here at Price is Right Wrestling would like to remind you to control the pet population. Have your pets spayed or neutered. Goodbye, everybody.